Ladies and gents, welcome in. Round of 16, massive tie here between Brazil and Norway under the New Jersey, New York sky. We have got a very intriguing, exciting matchup here. Brazil and Norway. It feels wrong that these two meet early in this tournament. We've got 8 straight victories in the round of 16 for Brazil versus Norway, who haven't lost to Brazil in 4 straight matches. 2 wins and 2 losses in the last 4 games versus Brazilian outfit. Looking to make that 5 games into this one here. Quick look at the lineups for Brazil for Douglas Santos and Danilo play as fullbacks once again. Marquinhos and Gabriel at the back. No changes there. Ryan and Gabriel Martinelli in the starting 11 as the wide men. Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes in midfield. It's a front 2 today. 4-4-2 shape. Vinicius Jr. and Matheus Cunha lead the line. So for Norway, it is Nyland in goal. Reersen and Malawufa is the wing-backs. Hegem and Aya at the back. No surprises there. Martin Ødegaard, Sander Berge and Berg in midfield. Alexander Sørloth supporting Erling Haaland and Antonio Nusa up top. Options on the bench on both sides. Bremer, Alexandro, Firmino, Rafinha, Neymar, Endrick for Brazil. And for Norway, Ostergaard, Morten Thornsby, Orsnes, Asgard, Oscar Bob, and Jens Petter Haag alongside Jorgen Strand Larsen. So no Lucas Paquetá with that injury. It is almost go time for this massive arena where the final will be played in just shy of 2 weeks. We are underway now. Norway and Martin Ødegaard gets kicked off. It is, of course, Norway in the red strip, kicking from right to left. It is, of course, Brazil in the yellow and blue shorts from left to right. It is a mouth-watering matchup. Winner faces off against the winner of Mexico and England later today. But this is going to be a blockbuster. The samba, the rhythm and the flow right now of this Brazilian side under Carlo Ancelotti versus the dash and the flair of this Norwegian side, led obviously by Erling Haaland and Martin Ødegaard. We saw both teams and what they got in the first knockout stage game, round of 32. Brazil, a very difficult game versus Japan. It's almost one of those ones, the game you really want to have in the build-up to winning a World Cup or going deep in a World Cup finals. An awkward round of 32 tie. Trailing early on, finding a way back into it. Martinelli, the winner, off the bench. But they showed that same level of patience and dominance which France showed yesterday versus that Paraguay outfit. After having it relatively easy in the group stage outside of Morocco match day 1, it was a performance we all wanted to see from Brazil. If they can stay solid, if they can eventually break down a low block, and they did that, and did that quite well. For Norway, they also came from behind to beat the Ivory Coast. Scored first, Ivory Coast equalising, and then a winner late on, Erling Haaland. Their strength comes in their attacking play, their ability in possession to get the better of sides in there. Sørloth, Nusa and Hahn as a front 3 is a very difficult front 3 to deal with the size, the speed, the trickery of Nusa. So each team possess something a little bit different. Look, it might not be the names you expect, but this Brazilian front 3 is, for me, very dangerous. The pressing of Matheus Cunha. And just quietly here, a chance for Ødegaard. And another Sørloth in behind. Cuts it back. Hit the chance. It's 1-0 to Norway. Berg opens the scoring. Flag is up. Flag is up, though. And that kills all the excitement. Oh, it's Sorlot. He's offside. Centre forward's playing out wide. That's a wide man. And he's had his moment. Berg ripped away from him. That was a perfect start. Written in the stars. But ripped away. It's the effect of having a centre forward out wide playing as a wide man. Just didn't hold his run. And Norway already having the ball in the back of the net. What a start for them. Well, as I was saying, the front line for Brazil has just been outstanding so far in this tournament. By taking away Rafinha and adding in a Ryan and unselfish Matheus Cunha, it has added a level of intensity in pressing him without the football, which the Brazilian side just don't have normally. The ball-winning capacity of Ryan and Matheus Cunha has been a joy to watch, a point of difference and an X-factor in games in which Brazil have faced off against opposition like Scotland, like Japan, and also Haiti as well when they all started together. Obviously, Rafinha is a top-tier player and one of the best in world football, but sometimes by taking away one and allowing the other to flourish in Vinicius Jr., things open up in the final third. And Ryan, a very unselfish, physical player, someone can hold the ball up, someone can skip past a few and get a ball into the box. And that's what I think benefits Vinicius Jr., benefits Matheus Cunha. And Matheus Cunha works so well for Vini. And the fact that he can press, win the ball up the pitch, allow Vini just to put the ball in the back of the net. Here comes another dangerous Norwegian attack. R16. Sorlot to whip in another ball. He's cross-blocked it. It's been a fantastic start for Norway. 5 minutes in, all the actions down their end of the park. And this is where Norway can be strong when they're on top of a game. They can get set pieces whipped in. A side that's very big in stature. Sorlot, Hegem, Aya, Haaland all in there. Can get a retake here. Referee making it clear that any grappling or holding will be penalised. Haaland, Sorlot, Hegem at the back stick. Ødegaard again. Dangerous spot. Touched by Danilo away. Noosa heads back into a dangerous spot over the head of Berg. And away comes Arsenal's Gabriel Martinelli. Vinicius past two, but not past the third. Sander Berg got his foot in. It's been a real revelation, that midfield. Sander Berg and Ødegaard in there have been so competitive, so solid in this tournament. They found the balance between defence and attack very well. Some big bodies in there as well. And really have matched up with some of the best midfields so far. Noosa with the turn, but turning himself into trouble. Marquinhos fell up the pitch, but an aerial duel that goes away of Hegem. I think for Norway in this tournament, we knew the front line was going to have goals. We knew this side had attacking output, but it's been the consistency of Christopher Ayer and Hegem back there that has been probably the greatest surprise of them all. They've been very, very solid. Obviously, two established names, but not household names. Not like the likes of Marquinhos and Gabriel for Brazil. So their displays have been, I think, the backbone of what Norway have been able to produce, because what they've been able to do is sit in and not feel like they're going to concede if they sit in for around 10 minutes' time. Back against the wall here. Gimenez. Martinez to stand one up. Kevin Martinez still has a little flick around the corner. Gimenez. Playing in there alone alongside Casemiro today. Resen and Vinicius Jr. Vinny winning that battle and skipping onto the bar line and running out of play. A little bit too many that skills from Vinicius Jr. That's the bright spot that they can possess. He'll step over and skip to the bar line there. Was fantastic. Get past Aya. Just didn't have enough to stand the ball up, though. I see Carlo Ancelotti on screen. Maybe that's been the most important addition to his Brazilian squad. Ancelotti coinciding with Gabriel Marquinhos being a part of this side just has given them the defensive structure they also need. Both these two sides have been very, very impressive defensively. Very hard to beat when they're without the football. That Japanese game last time out for Brazil, it was a bad mistake from Douglas Santos that gave possession away in that first half, in a moment of chaos there. The counter-attack converted. But outside of that moment there, very, very robust, very, very hard to beat. And they're going to find a very similar problem here in Norway. Musa trying to turn. Right hand getting a toe in. Brazil coming the other way. Oh, fabulous from Bruno Guimaraes. Martinelli. Cunha goes down. Referee says got the ball. Cunha furious. He's gone up to the referee and said, he's got me, not the ball. Oh, it's a pen. It is a Stonewall pen. It has to stay as a pen. That is the most obvious pen. That's a bad decision by the referee not to call that. And VAR will surely intervene. You don't see Matheus Cunha that angry and aggressive very often. And I think Brazil are going to get this penalty here. They have to get this penalty. It'll be a daylight robbery if not. Carlo, Rafinha up there. They're unhappy. The referee will come over to the monitor. No surprises there. It seems so clear cut. Cunha knocks the ball past Christopher Aya, who dives in and goes nowhere near the football. That's a very, very bad call by the referee, who's at a 20-second look max and comes back on. And here is the conclusion. No surprises there. Penalty kick Brazil. Created by Matheus Cunha, who was tripped by Christopher Aya in the box. He almost got away with murder. A silly, silly mistake. A lazy effort. He left out a leg, and Matheus Cunha obliged, and he tripped over. And we should have known straight away. There's not often that Matheus Cunha gets very aggressive like that. He knew it. Bruno Guimaraes will step up from the spot. The Newcastle United skipper, a Geordie legend. Massive for Brazil in this tournament so far, with a plethora of assists. There has been 15 World Cup penalties so far. Only 4 have failed to find the back of the net. Bruno Guimaraes looking to give Brazil the perfect start here in New York. It's Guimaraes. Saved! Nyland done well. Fantastic, Nyland. And Nyland said no. The Norwegian wall in Norway. And listen to the Viking roar inside of this New York, New Jersey stadium. That's a certain goal, you thought, from the spot. They are now up and about, the Norway fans. An offside goal scored by Berg. Nyland making a penalty save. It's been a really, really exciting start to this one. A cracking first quarter of an hour. Ødegaard, Nusa. Tried to flick it on the Malawolf, but didn't reach him. What a moment for him. Holds his composure well after the stutter step from Bruno G. Stays strong, stays solid. Sees he's going to the keeper's left-hand side and makes a fantastic save. It's a good savable height, but still has to adjust his body and make a fantastic save. And that grimace from Bruno Guimaraes sums it all up. And Reyerson just riding Vinicius Jr. a little bit too closely there. And a foul towards halfway for Brazil. It had the feel of this in the build-up, didn't it? A really open, exciting matchup. Ryan skipping inside of Malawolf. And unable to get a clean shot on goal. In the end, it's rash and it's wide. There is Norwegian royalty up in the expensive seats as well. They'll watch on keenly. Hit the whole of the country of Norway. Has their eyes fixated on this one here. They're doing them proud in this tournament. If they can do things right today, they could be heading to a World Cup quarter-final. They've been two-time round of 16 sides. They've never gone further than round of 16, Norway. They are playing for history. They are playing for national pride here. And they're a team that really won't back down. They'll play their way. Stale Solbakken and his side are unapologetically them. Nusa. Hasn't he been great this tournament? He'll breakout game last night versus the Ivory Coast. King on the score sheet in a knockout game. But he's added so much in that front line with a player like Alexander Sorloth there. You need that width up top, and he actually provides it. Now wing player. Gabriel Martinelli. Off the turnover, Vinicius Jr. Stood one up. Oh, Cunha was there. Headed away, though. Oh, coming from that turnover. High up the pitch, Martin Ødegaard caught with it. Almost a nightmare for them. Back the other way now comes Norway. Into the final third they go. Saw they showed too much of it to Douglas Santos. Feeds Matheus Cunha in the centre circle. Playing a hybrid role today. As like that false 9. Also, the number 10. Just to give support to Guimaraes and Casemiro in midfield, who hasn't yet been exploited. Casemiro. That first game looked so leggy, so slow. Since then, he's done a fantastic job holding on the fort in midfield for Brazil. Cunha, Casemiro. Martinelli trying to squeeze through there by Douglas Santos. And Matheus Cunha, not the same wavelength as the wing-back. Still have, though, progressed through the lines. Much too easy for the liking of Ståle Solbakken and the Norwegian side, who've also gotten forward at easy as well. It's really an absent midfield battle. It's a game that's been played from final third to final third. Both off 2-1 victories. Both off late winning goals. Interesting to see who can score the first one and take control of this matchup. We've had a Norwegian ball in the back of the net. Ruled out for offside for Alexander Sorloth. We've had Bruno Guimaraes. His penalty saved by Nyland. It's been entertainment deluxe here early on. Double to Sorloth on the right-hand side. He really is stretching the back line, playing towards the touchline. No inside forward, no skinny roll. It is out and out right wing. Nyland long. Sorloth keeps it in play. Lays the ball back to Sander Berg. Now to Berg. Who was that man? He had the ball in the back of the net. Ryerson. He's going to be a threat for this Brazilian side to keep an eye on for plethora of assists in the Bundesliga this campaign. Not often you get a fullback with over 15 assists in a league season. He's going to be dangerous. So here is Ryerson. Darting inside, Sander Berg. Sorloth, who could finally have the front line to himself at Atletico Madrid if all things are going to go ahead between Julian Alvarez and Barcelona. Laporta officially putting a first bid in here for him. Barca desperate to get the man to replace Robert Lewandowski. And that means at last Sorloth can lead the front line on his own. No Griezmann, no Alvarez. He'll be Sorloth's front line to operate with. Here is that man, Alexander Sorloth. Martin Odegaard picking the ball up deep. He's obviously does this a lot for this Norwegian side so far this tournament. Obviously less so of that for Arsenal, but a sense of freedom is given under Ståle Solbakken, and we get to see the full range and quality of what Martin Odegaard's all about. Foul there on Malo Wolfer. Tripped by Rayan. Another lazy foot left in there. So set piece. Quite a ways away, but if anyone can whip in a ball and hit a target, Martin Odegaard can definitely do so. Fancy chances from out here. Norway end up going short. They work it in a Noosa on the left-hand side. Rayan's got him for company. Chopping inside Noosa. Still Antonio Noosa. For Rayson. Turns away for Martinelli. Sets the ball for Berg. Noosa. Little flick. Well read by Matheus Cunha. And Brazil have a 2v2. Cunha and Vini up there. Norwegian backline backpedaling. Cunha goes over. Nothing in that. Well done, Malawolfa. He went with Cunha toe for toe. The crisis there averted for Norway. Once again, a sign of why you don't just whip a ball into a dangerous area. But they've got the size that Norway have. And the players that committed up the pitch, I just do not know why. Player of Ødegaard's quality has to play short. Tees one in the box. Chance for second balls. Headers to go wrong. And you could have a massive opportunity to score, but instead a counter-attack conceded, and luckily well defended by Malawolfa to keep this game 0-0. Norway now through Reyes on his right-hand channel. Ødegaard more central, that. Martin Ødegaard. Hegem here on his left-hand side. Noosa. Brazil quite comfortably in their shape. Looks like a 4-3-3 without it. Matheus Cunha, Rayan and Vini, that front three. Martinelli supporting Casemiro and Guimaraes in midfield. And Norway happy to go all the way back to Norland in goal. The man he's made the save from the spot to keep Brazil out so far. Long diagonal. Sorloth can't take it in. Gabriel. That back and forth, real high tempo start to this game has just faded away as we've approached the half-hour mark here. Last 10 minutes or so, sides happy to sit in their shape. Team's happy just to keep possession of the football. Here's Rayan. Give and go with Guimaraes, who was met in there by the Norwegian midfielder. Noosa with a flying run. And finally had it broken up there by Casemiro. Ball put out of play. And then that's time on the stroke of the 26th minute to have a drink. So chances at both ends. Matheus Cunha won a penalty. Bruno Guimaraes had it saved by Nyland. Sorloth gotten behind. He set up Berg to score early on, but it was the wide man, Alexander Sorloth, that was deemed offside. So it stands 0-0. Short break here, guys, just for about a minute's time, and we'll be right back with the second period of the first half very, very soon. Stay with us, guys. So back with the second period of this first half here. Brazil with a throw here on the halfway line. Somehow we're left scoreless after a breathless first quarter of an hour. It's slowed down since then. The second quarter of an hour of the first half has been less back and forth and open-ended, but nonetheless, a good watch so far. It has it to say, Brazil probably had the better of the things. Looked a little bit more creative against a set-up defence. Obviously, Norway progressed really well in transitional actions. Of course, Brazil in transition are dynamic. Probably had to adjust Brazil. Vini retrieves that ball. That was overhit by Danilo. Squeezes one through to Gabriel Martinelli. The cutback. Oh, Nyland made an important touch. Step back in. Missed his kick there. Was Gabriel, I think. It was Gabriel who was charging into the box. And Nusa shoved over. Massive chance there. Because if Nyland doesn't get a touch, Matheus Cunha is waiting in the box. Unmarked, basically. It was Bruno G that was there. Unmarked. Mate sees him. And it's that important foot that gets extended by Nyland that keeps the ball away from Guimarães. Sigh of relief there for Norway. Oh, nearly got away there. Feels like a half chance of that for Erling Haaland could prove game-changing, you feel, in this sort of game. Hip-hop royalty with Jay-Z in the house. Here is Hegem. Just a wolf up. Away from Raya. And then trying to squeeze one through for Ødegaard, but just misplaced that pass in a space that operates down the right-hand side for Brazil, but misplaced pass there. Berger in the way. Here's Sanderberger. Oh, beautiful touch and take and turn for Martin Ødegaard. Can he just get this Norwegian side humming in the final third? Can he start orchestrating from the number 10 spot? Ødegaard. Sanderberger. Nusa. And again dropping the shoulder and darting inside. Guimarães there in the way. And a flick around the corner for Matheus Cunha was fantastic to find Casemiro. Similar from Vini. Here comes Danilo. Vinicius gets it back. Looks to run out this Norwegian backline and knocks one past Hegem, but just overhit it. And ran out of green grass to run into. Out of play for the goal kick. Such great vibrancy of colour around this stadium. Of course, the yellow of Brazil. But in amongst that, in there, thousands are the red of the Norwegian fans. They're not often outnumbered, but I think in this occasion here, the Brazilians have just got them covered. Aya rising for that header. Not taken down, though, by Gabriel Martinelli. In that sort of hybrid midfield, such attacking role. He's gotten the ball a lot more than we normally see of him. Crossfield pass, just overhit there. Sorloth can come away with it. Feed Erling Haaland on the turn. Tackle flying in though. It's broken the way of Sorloth, who squeezes it forward for Antonio Nusa, but Gabriel read it like a book. Cunha. Vinicius, who darts inside, finds Guimarães. Ryan, this is the situation he likes. Fits into the Finny. Partially blocked. And Hegem got it away. Malawulfa sends up the line. It's only though as far as Danilo. Casemiro. To the right where Ryan is again. Set back for Danilo. Back at the field of Ryan. The underlapping run from Gimenez. Blocked by Ødegaard. Norway stubborn. And that's a really poor misplaced pass from Danilo. Is it going to be another mistake from a fullback in possession that hands a goal away for Brazil? Ødegaard, Nusa, chopping inside and trying to squeeze one through. Ødegaard's there. Still got it. Chance seemed squashed. Oh, Ødegaard. Trying to fizz one in at the near post there. Almost lulled Brazil to sleep. Turning his back to goal. Quick swivel. And darting one towards the near post. Just dragged it wide of that and into the side netting though. And that's the first attempt on goal. Because their previous attempt was an offside goal. So fifth attempt of the game. 4 in favour of Brazil. 1 now for the Norwegian side. It's loose at the back again. Antonio Nusa got a foot in and beat Cunha to it. Julian Reyerson. Love to see a little bit more of him in the final third. Haven't got to see him deliver anything of note to the likes of Erling Haaland or a late runner for midfield like Sander Berge. Here is the Dortmund man. That's a back for Hegem. Less than 10 minutes to go here in this first half. Really, really tightly contested battle that Brazil have probably just edged. But when I say edge, there's not much in that. Nusa in. Haaland! Ooh, creatively trying to knock one on. A little deft touch to try and just get that ball over the top of the hands and the reach of Alisson, but quite comfortable in the end. Gimenez. Martinelli searching for Cunha over the top. I know how to find him though. Sander Berge caught. And the referee had eventually seen it. Trying to let the advantage being played there, the referee, but came to nothing that pass, so he called back. Just see there, Martinelli just a tad late. Catching Berge on the foot. Quite clearly a foul. So Norway have had 66% possession. Only managed the 2 shots on goal. Brazil with much less of the football being a little bit more dangerous, and they've looked a little bit more direct and dynamic when they've got the football. 34% possession, created the 0.9 XG. So Lot's cross was blocked and Reyerson picked up the scraps. Sets the ball back. Yeah. Berge. Christopher, he got away with a huge mistake, tripping Matheus Cunha early in this game. Thanks to his goalkeeper making an important save tonight. Gimenez from 12 yards. Done tight spaces there from the Brazilian back line. They eventually get out of trouble. Here is Bruno. To the feet of Casemiro. Brazil look to spread his left-hand side. Said Casemiro goes back to the right where Danilo is. Now with Ryan, he's on the touchline and now trying to get at Malawulfa. Nusa there as the double. The overlapping run from Danilo not used. Casemiro. Ryan now again. Noosa now having a man mark him. Casemiro. Casemiro lines one up. Lacked a lot of power. Hagen blocked it. An exercise in keep ball here for Brazil. Force Norway out their shape. They try and find that killer ball. Marquinhos works right to the far side where Vini was, but rested in the way and knew that trick. Erdogan caught on it though. Vini. Vinicius. Oh, Nyland again. And again, Norway caught on the ball. This time, Erdogan. Vini got a very, very important shoe in. Once Martinelli found him again on the return pass, I thought he would lash this past Nyland. Tries to go the near post. The Norwegian number one gets the foot down to make the save. Vini squeezed the ball through set of legs, but only to Antonio Noosa, who can't get rid of that. Going to come back with Douglas Santos. Brazil remain looking dangerous, as I say that. Vinicius Junior's touch gets away from him and out of play. They have looked the more dangerous side, the more deadlier side. Another opportunity manufactured, this time though by the mistake of Norway playing out from the back. Sanderberger. Brazil returning back to this arena after that match day 1 draw with Morocco. Norway have beaten here as well versus Senegal. Gabriel and Haaland coming together there. Those two know each other very, very well. This time it's Haaland in red. That's a matchup we haven't really talked about so far, but the Arsenal centre-half and the City centre-forward once again locking horns. No love lost between those two. Noosa squeezes one through to Haaland. Haaland rolls it into Ødegaard, who couldn't fashion an angle to get a shot on goal. It was blocked behind, and it'll be a Norwegian corner kick. Again, another transitional play. Both these two sides so deadly when they win possession back. Brazil get so many numbers forward and on the counter-attack. Less so for Norway, but they're still as dangerous. Haaland, Sorloth, Noosa, Ødegaard. Well, the big lads congregate towards the rear of the 6-yard box. It's Berg to whip this ball in. Low flat one. Well dealt with there. Noosa flicks the header on. Reyes has a 50-50 to win and does so well. Then a second ball, which he just lofts straight up into the New York sky that Alisson can easily claim. So a pair of minutes to come until the major break. Seesawing first half display. Chances at both ends. Should really be at 1 apiece, it feels like. Nothing to separate these two just yet. 0-0. Can one of these sides manufacture something late on here? Matheus Cunha. Vini ran into trouble. That trouble was in the form of Reyerson, who's outside the foot pass. Sends away Alexander Sorloth. He's got the attacking creative players up there with him of Noosa and Haaland and Ødegaard. Slows that counter-attack down though. Norway happy to play slow play in possession here. Wolfer. You can see by the momentum chart, the peaks have been better for Brazil, but he's been seesawing throughout. Norway happy looking to just see this one out, it looks like, with the football. Sander Berger. Cross to Hegem. He's put a foot wrong so far in this one. Obviously, Christopher Aguero, that penalty kick, tripping Matheus Cunha. Hegem and Wolfer, relatively unchallenged and defending very solidly in this first 45. Here's Nyland. So just long in the Sorloth direction. Broken up there by Douglas Santos. Haaland comes flying in for a loose ball. We've got 6 minutes of stoppages here. Sorloth. Rarson. Berger. Back to Alexander Sorloth. Looking to deliver from out wide. Always looks a little bit aesthetically off. Seeing a big centre forward crossing the ball. So long throw time here for Norway. Catapulted in by Rarson. Met at the first obstacle of Matheus Cunha. Rarson again. Cross to Ganik. Corner kick. Marquinhos just barking orders and motivation to his back line, who've got their job cut out for them here with some of the big Norwegian lads in the box. A guardian swing up. Sorloth was there. Couldn't win it. That's how he came away with it. They gave it straight back to Norway. And Mella Wolfer. Now with Nyland. Really tell some of the fatigue of the players. We saw this yesterday with France in their game versus Paraguay. There's a stage of the game where it becomes almost a snail's pace. You can understand it. Some of the heat and a long tournament following a long club season. These players are just starting to fatigue, you feel a little bit. Basically playing a game every 4 to 5 days on average. And in these knockout stage games, you don't want to make a mistake and allow fatigue to make that mistake for you. So careful control at times. There'll be lulls in games. There'll be slows in passages. And this is just one of them here before half-time. Haaland, though, he's not fatiguing. And Ødegaard followed in. And what a save from Alisson, who somehow got down as Ødegaard looked to try and squeeze it underneath his body. But that chance created all through the hard work of Haaland. Throws his body in there versus Gabriel. Fights for the second ball. And Ødegaard followed in. Tried to squeeze underneath Alisson, but the keeper was down well to squash that chance. Martinelli skipping away with it. Ryan sets it for Danilo. Bruno Guimaraes. Can he fashion out a chance here? Santos. Vinny lays it back to him. Guimaraes. Strong bank of 4 for Norway. In front of that, a bank of 5. Everyone but Erling Haaland back to defend this. Vinny trying to get the better of Rarson again. The Dortmund man gets back though and covers off. Bruno Guimaraes. Shot on goal to a nick, I think, Matheus Cunha in the end. Ball in. Fantastic all from Casemiro. And Martinelli could not get a touch. He was onside as well. Great late run. Not a man, though, known for his heading ability. You can see it there. Sort of barely got off the ground. What a save from Alisson tonight, Erdegaard. That ball was hit with venom. Berg gets in ahead of there of Matheus Cunha, who's been a little bit more quiet since the opening few moments of this one. Here's Berger. Nusa. Lifted by Berg. Looking for Erdegaard in the box. The Arsenal skipper coming together with the Arsenal centre-half. Foul. Has Brazil come away with it, and they look to go quickly here. 30 seconds till half-time. Vinicius Jr. picking up a head of steam here. And getting at this Norway backline. Naya telling him to get back to his feet. The referee wasn't buying it either, as Vinny went to ground. And Christopher Aya, little pull the shirt, but nothing enough to let Vinicius go to ground like that. And then on that note, the referee calls half-time. And very, very exciting, open-ended at times, first 45. It's a game that's just on a knife edge right now. Neither side really wants to let slip their position. Most possession in favour of Norway. Erdegaard came close right at the end there. But a missed penalty by Bruno Guimaraes. A few chances in the way of Vinicius Jr., Matheus Cunha and Martinelli have not been put away. Brazil have edged the chances, but Norway edged the possession battle. But it remains a half-time in New York, 0-0 between these two sides. Short break, guys, and we'll be right back for the second half very, very soon. Alrighty guys, we are back for second half action here from New York. Ooh, set myself up here. We've got some change at the half. Oscar Bob and Jens Petter Orga are coming on for Norway. Apparently, but I don't think that is that? Let me just double check here. We've got on. And shoulder up and Oscar Bob, sorry. So brand new wingers, no more Sorlot, no more Noosa. Instead it's Bob. Shoulder up. Game that's still knotted at 0-0. More security, I think, in the football here is the aim of the game for Norway. Oscar Bob, someone who can take the ball in. Yes, he can skip past players, but he's also predominantly someone who's very comfortable in the football and someone who can perform in tight spaces under pressure. And that's the key for Norway in this second half, is when they get the ball going forward, have to keep possession for some period of time rather than just hand possession straight back to Brazil. So Oscar Bob can provide in the final third, and Sheldrup was very dynamic in that game versus Senegal late in the group. Brazil, though, without a change. Not a header on. Casemiro gets a foot in. Martinelli can play now on the turn. Couple of Arsenal players out there. Gabriel, Odegaard, Martinelli. A pair of Manchester United players also in Matheus Cunha and Casemiro. So a lot of Premier League representation across both these sides. Here's Ryan shopping inside and delivering a dangerous ball. And that was well dealt with by Hegem. If you look at the first half in totality, it was back and forth. I think Norway will want a little bit more oomph in possession. Maybe that's also where Oscar Bob is on. He can create a little bit more from the slow play. Might not be as dynamic as Antonio Noosa, but he's got that passing around ability to break down a back line. That set up. I think for them, it's limiting transition for Brazil and maximising their chances when they're up against this Brazilian side in possession. For Brazil, it's the same as what they did in the first half. I think a bit of a sharper edge, a clinical edge in the final third to put away some of these counter-attacking chances. They score first. They have a massive advantage in this one. It's very important, all knockout games, but especially here with the way that Norway have played their football and the confidence they build to score before they do. Oscar Bob bundled over. They're in this near side, right-hand side for Norway. You already see there a little bit of a difference. Bob can take that ball in and sort of fashion a dribble out of trouble where he might not be as quick as Antonio Noosa or electric in terms of chopping inside and scoring past the goalkeeper, but he's more accomplished in possession, and he can receive the ball and keep the ball for his Norwegian outfit. But it's big moves to him out at half-time. It's a rogue, I guess, decision you could say by Ståle Solbakken. But shows the level of confidence he has in his bench and in his side to continue to perform despite rotating some pieces out of the side. I do think, though, a player like Julian Ryerson needs to get more of the football. If this Norwegian side was going to be successful, the guy's picked up a lot of handy positions. Feed the ball through to Berg. Space opens up, and he's somehow got well under that, and that's gone well behind the goal. That's something he'll choose not to remember after this one. Douglas Santos back to Gabriel. Just long up the pitch where R16 wins that aerial duel. Casemiro sends that ball forward. Aerial duel 1, there by Berg. Shodrup picked up the seconds. Ødegaard. So R16, Bob, both in this side. You feel that is going to be the avenue towards goal in terms of chance creation and ability on the football. Here is R16 throwing this near side for Norway. They continue to push and probe and look the more comfortable side in terms of possessional play. R16 wanted a foul there, but quite dramatically threw himself to the deck. Haven't actually started the clock. Sorry about that. We'll sync ourselves up here. There we go. And it is now back synced. I apologise for that. I don't know how I forgot to start time up the second half. Here is Aya. Mate continue doing a good work in midfield, supporting the midfield combination of Casemiro and Gimenez. R16. Bob. This is where he can be dangerous. Instead of wriggling out of danger and getting out of back line. The end product's probably not outrageous. We've seen it at times at Fulham as well recently, where he's done a lot of the hard work and then failed to produce the end product. He's definitely very, very dangerous on the football, though. I'll tell you, misjudging that, and his teammate Ødegaard nipped in to win that. Good start the second period here for the Norwegians. Jose Red will be very happy the way they are to keep the football and keep Brazil penned in. Something that Japan failed to do in their matchup versus Brazil. Maybe due to the reason they scored early and were comfortable sitting in, but the consistent possession which Norway have been able to keep and the constant pressure they've been able to provide onto them has been, I think, important as the backbone of this performance today. Brazil were able to just get attack after attack after attack in the second half versus Japan, and that pressure just told. But it also got them in the mojo. They got them moving the ball much quicker, and they're a little bit more sharp in that final third. But by starving them of possession and chances to get on the ball, you limit their ability to grow into the game. Their ability to gain some confidence in possession on the football. And take away their threat, which is undeniably their attacking football, despite their unbelievable world-class rear guard. Shodrup from the bench. Malawulfa went the low route. And Marquinhos read quite comfortably. And Hagen puts that out of play on the far side. So Brazil will get possession back with a throw. Throw which Danilo will take on the far right side for them. Yet to be challenged by Shodrup. Gimenez had the ball nicked away from him. Haaland held off Casemiro well and turned. Here is Shodrup. Showed way too much there to Danilo. He got a foot in, and Casemiro allows Mate to get away here. Oscar Bob trying to cover off defensively. Douglas Santos, Vinicius Jr. Need to see more Vinny on the football. Skips past a few. Vinicius Jr. still looking to cut one back. It's off Aya. Down a play. A corner kick won by Vinicius Jr. Just see there. Lulls Bob to sleep. Knocks her past Rarson. Haven't seen much of that today. Matheus Cunha. Right footed in swinging ball. Long delay. Near post. No one going to touch on it. That ball just fizzed through between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Great delivery from Cunha, but no one was there to meet it. So back with Norway in possession. Berger, Martin Odegaard all comfortable in possession. Want to take this game to his Brazilian outfit. Oscar Bob. Rarson. Quarter-final tie versus either the winner of Mexico and England from later today or waiting the winner of this game. Both teams will fancy themselves after that first half to go and win this game and carry that belief and momentum into that quarter-final tie. Bob turning away from trouble. Feeding shoulder up. They can run at Danilo. The ball in, blocked away by Ryan. Shoulder up still. And ball out of play. Danilo doing well there. Mistake by Danilo. Continues alongside Douglas Santos. Look, probably their weakest two players at fullback. Everyone else has lifted their weight. That mistake will allow Norway to launch a long throw in here. Or not, they go short. And a guard. Berger. Now to Hegem. Comfortable possession once again here for Norway. It's that Carlo rear guard, though, so hard to break down. Here comes a very exciting substitution. Endrick readying himself. Matheus Cunha will make way. Endrick came on at half-time in the previous matchup, and it made that front line shape a lot more balanced. Matheus Cunha able to make a meaningful impact today. So Endrick down the middle alongside Vinny and Ryan again. Rarson and Bob linking up here. That's it for Martin Odegaard. The fizz one in there. But Casemiro in the way. And feeds Vinicius Jr. And transition available for Endrick, who just came on. He's found him behind Endrick. He's missed it. and maybe too fresh. His first touch and was found through 1v1 and somehow has made a meal of that chance. What a chop in time by Vinny. And the way the pass is fantastic. That's that second touch from Hendrick that just gets away from him. And makes it a close 1v1 versus Nyland. And once he gets there, tries the little dink over the top. Unable though to keep it on target. Opportunity goes to waste. Would have been the perfect start off the bench for Hendrick. Number 19, missing a one-on-one. And arguably the best chance has been created today. That's the moment there that Brazil and a Carlo Ancelotti side flourishes from. Sitting rigid in a shape, being hard to beat, frustrate the opposition. And then when they try something a little bit too expansive, Casemiro got a foot in. Vinny came away with it, and Hendrick really should have scored. Long ball in the Haaland direction. Gabriel and Haaland engage. Oscar Bob going at Gabriel. Away with it comes Douglas Santos. Grab ball to the middle of the park where Martelli has been today. Hendrick around the corner looking for Guimaraes. Broken up partially. Sent forward though by Gabriel Martinelli. Hendrick gets out of his feet. Hendrick tees one up. Took a nick. Corner kick. And he's looked bright. He's been direct. Trying to up the speed of this game here, Hendrick. Force the issue. Forces Brazilian side to awake from their slumber in the second half. Guimaraes. In swing up. Nyland deals with it. Bob heads it away. Douglas Santos with a return ball in there. Kept alive there by Gabriel. Ryan! Oh! Important palm away from Nyland. And the Norwegian, number 1, is keeping his side in this. Multiple important interventions in this one. That's the most important of the second half there. To keep that Ryan snapshot at bay that was coming through bodies and I thought took a little nick on its way through. The keeper stayed solid and stayed strong. Gabriel Vinicius Jr. away from Racing at ease again. Chopping inside of both him and Oscar Bob. Saying it to Casemiro. Lofted towards Ryan at the post. Bruno Guimaraes denied by Nyland again. He has been a man possessed today. And Ryan was offside of the rib. The goalkeeper didn't know about that. Came out. And Bruno Guimaraes thought that's 1-0. But the big left palm of the Norwegian number 1. It did take a nick off Hegem. That Ryan shot. But Nyland there again. He looked a man unbeatable, impenetrable today. As Orstes comes on for Reyes, and I think that is a decision that has been made to keep Vinicius Jr. quiet. Ball paper to Oscar Bob, back towards goal. Sanderberger. Horsness. It's the feed one through. Haaland got on the end of it in the end, but it's out of the reach of Martin Odegaard. The pass not fully cleared there. Norway come back with it. Here is the substitute Horsness. So far, so good for Norway. Some big saves from 9-8 in goal. Have kept Brazil relatively quiet outside of that here in the second half. Just feel the next couple of minutes here before the hydration break, it's going to be massive. Don't want to concede. Want to go in to that next hydration break knotted and level, especially if you're Norway. Ball kept alive. Odegaard. Berg. To Melee Wolfer. Shoulder up. Haven't seen too much of the young shoulder up. Thought he was pretty good. Final day versus France, where they rotated heavily. At you tight winger. Ball in. Oh! Alisson got a touch and almost pinballed in the path of Erling Haaland. For a moment, the big number 9 thought he got a free one. Wow. Alisson was aware of the danger, though. But even once he gets a touch, it bounces off Gabriel and almost into the feet of the Manchester City and Norwegian big number 9. Odegaard. To whip this one in. The in swing up. Stood up well. Headed away. Shoulder up. Oscar Bob. Shoulder up again. Bob. Here's a chance for Haaland. At the rear, at the back post sliding in. And just couldn't get an important touch. It was Ayo who was forward. And manufactured a good ball across the 6-yard box. There's that sign of the tight spaces. Oscar Bob working there well. Feed went through to Ayo. And from the outside of the foot. Try to pick him out. Just too much speed on that delivery. And the big centre forward sliding in, couldn't get there. Haaland, with a smile on his face, came close. So Neymar and Danilo are coming on. Martinelli and Rayan are done for the day. This is the perfect situation for Neymar to come on. And the referee calls a drink. So we're going to have a final short break here. And we'll come back with 20 minutes to go on this one. Tighter and cagier in the second half. But the quality, nonetheless, is on display. Short break, guys. And we will be right back. Alrighty, we're back here for the final 20 minutes of this matchup. It's a strange game that on paper has been cagey, but really has been an entertaining matchup. Brazil created that nearly 2 XG, 1.9 XG versus the 0.54 of Norway. But they've not been out of this game. 2 big chances of their own versus the 4 of Brazil. 11 shots to Brazil to 6 of Norway. So it really has been an entertaining game despite the scoreline saying otherwise. If anyone thought it was going to be straightforward, well, you haven't watched Norway play yet. Here's Neymar. I was saying just before we went to the break, I'm wondering if the impact and the emotional weight of Neymar being introduced might just push this side over the line. Poor giveaway there by wins the ball back though. Oscar Bob away from Douglas Santos. Haaland. Ødegaard in the tight space. Ødegaard kept with it, but in the end lost out. Yeah. Sanderberger. Just with Eggum. So we had a 3-0 win for Morocco over Canada, a 1-0 win for France over Paraguay, and they scored at a very, very similar situation to where we are right now. Not to that 0-0 here after the high-scoring affair of the group stages. Knockouts have been a little bit more cagier, as you can expect. And even following the madness of the round of 32, where there's some really, really open games there as well. This is proper knockout football now. One of the big boys remain. Vini teasing one in there for Neymar. Ødegaard. Gimenez fouling Berg in midfield. Here's Sanderberger. Hendrick now's gone to the wide region to allow Neymar to be down the middle. So Vinny and Hendrick are part of the midfield supporting 5. Great turn for Douglas Santos. Antilu plays it forward for Neymar. Vinny on the left. Hendrick up there in the box. Vinny to the edge of the area. Casemiro. Gimenez. Danilo. Cross blocked. Casemiro can recycle a ball in. Well blocked by Martin Ødegaard. Hits to Erling Haaland. Great hold-up play against Gabriel. Bob, who received it off Ødegaard. Also on the outside. Down the middle is Ødegaard. Tap one on for Haaland. Around the corner for Sheldrup. Sheldrup! Oh, Alisson with the save at his near post. One of the finest of counter-attacking moves that we've seen today. It was through 4 or 5 players' feet. And then once Sheldrup got a shooting chance, he smashed it towards the near post. But Alisson, like the goal going through his legs, saw it all the way. Norway fighting back there with a chance of their own. Great back here from Sheldrup. Norway keep it alive in there. Quarter of an hour to play in the 90. Will someone dare try and push to win it in 90 rather than seeing this one go to extra time? Erdegaard. Sheldrup. Norway trying to fashion a chance here. Trying to wriggle their way through this Brazilian rear guard that, once they're able to sit in and get their shape, is so hard to break down. Sheldrup on from Alawulfa. Cross well blocked and then picked up by Marquinhos, who dinks just over the head of Neymar. Once again, though, Norway able to slow this ball game down into a bit of a slow snail's pace, a walking pace. I think they've chosen to do that well in this game. Keep possession, keep Brazil chasing, try and tire them down. You know, they're a hard-working side. They're a better side defensively. But they'll believe this Norwegian outfit that they're fitter, they are better equipped to go deeper. And the more that the Brazil side has to defend, the more they have to chase. More likely that later on in this game, opportunities will open up. Fatigue will play a part. They can get away in this game that way. It's a very, very professionally worked game here by Norway. Very impressed with what they've done. Nothing new, though. We know that this is what they can do. So well put together. Look at the passes completed. Almost actually is double the amount Norway of Brazil. Low, flat one. Haaland trying to hold off Gabriel. Those two grappling together again. Danilo gets rid of it. About to come on now is Manchester United's new man, Ederson. Erdegaard. Osnas. Oscar Bob on the right-hand side. He chooses to use him. Close defending from Douglas Santos. We'll get that substitution now. So the changing of the guard in midfield. Bruno Guimaraes makes way after he had his penalty saved right at the start of this one. That feels like an age ago. And Nyland getting down to his bottom left to palm that ball away. Ederson will be on alongside Casemiro in midfield. Can that be some fresh legs that makes a difference here for the Seleção? Wolf up to Sheldrup, who stands up. Haaland! Erling Haaland! Norway are alive! And they are leading in New York. Thanks to that big centre forward. He doesn't go near it for 80 minutes. But on the stroke of the 80th minute, he rises highest and heads home. Haaland, Brazil, he's their nightmare. Hasn't had a sniff all day long, but the one delivery of note, a one ball into a dangerous area. And the big number 9 said, I'll fancy that. Sheldrup skips past that man, stands one up, beautiful delivery. And it's Haaland that gets ahead of his arch nemesis, Gabriel. And that header cushioned into the corner. Alisson going nowhere near it. A sensational pick out. And Haaland getting higher, getting highest, and finding the back of the net. And Haaland joins the party in terms of the goal fest. His 6th. To join Mbappe and Messi on 7. And the goal machine delivers again. And on one of the biggest stages as well. Against one of the biggest international teams. Arguably the biggest in the world. And Haaland has a sniff now. What a move by the manager. So Buchan brought off Noosa, brought off Sorlot. He brought on Oscar Bob. And he also brought up shoulder up at half time. And it was the wide man that set that ball up for Erling Haaland to head home. And now the urgency is there. The alarm bells are starting to ring louder and louder for Brazil. A team that have run 8 straight round of 16 matchups coming into this one, 10 from 11. They are on the brink here of being knocked out. Vinny looks to respond here. It's not what they haven't deserved. They've been fantastic today, Norway. They've warranted a goal. The football they've played. You can see the fear caked across all these Brazilian fans' face. Even Carlo Ancelotti, a sense of chewing that gum with a little bit more vigour. And Neymar in his last World Cup has been subbed on and now has to save this game. Neymar's right-footed in-swinger to a dangerous spot. I think it was Aya that just had the ball bounce off his head and out of play there. Could have gone anywhere. He continues to cheer up his side as they defend this 1-goal advantage given to them by Erling Haaland. Neymar again with a low whip this time. Almost just away from the near post. Casemiro retrieves it. Cycles that ball back. Ball whipped in. It's the goal scorer Haaland that heads away. Doing his defensive work now. Neymar. Neymar. Trying to wiggle away. Berg is there. And he's been there all day long. Him and Sander Berger in midfield. Fabulous. Competing every battle in there. Vinicius. Oscar Bob got there ahead of him. And here's a counter-attack for Norway. Bob. Shoulder up. Wondering where Haaland is here in this counter-attack. Bob. Now with the counter-attack sort of fizzling out. Norway can just keep possession. Shoulder up. Bob. Odegaard. Important possession now. A case of keep ball here. They've done this in the game so well. Got a wonder for Brazil. Hendricks missed one-on-one. Guimarães just missed penalty. Vinny's half chances. Is that going to come back to hurt them? Are they going to rue those missed chances? They created the fair share of chances, to be honest. They, like with the game sort of in the balance, if you had to draw it one way or the other, you probably edge it just to Brazil in terms of the first sort of 70-odd minutes. But there's nothing much in it, and when there's not nothing much in it, you gotta take your chances. Round of 16, knockout football against a clinical side like Norway. Missed 1v1s, missed penalties, missed half chances. You got to take them. Oh, it's almost in the own net. Oh, I almost put it into his own net. And Nyland clawed it out from the line. And a piece of his hand in the post, denying Brazil an equaliser. That was almost chaos and calamity. Aya this time with more convincing of a header away. Vini. Oh, Casemiro fizzes across. And no one got the end of it. No one was alert to the occasion. And now 9-9's gone down. Casemiro fizzed it. Finney and Neymar, they're never going to be quick enough to get to that. Haaland with a big sigh. Let's have a look at that intervention there from Nyland. Somehow it's... Oh. Nyland has been a man possessed. And he's now 5 saves for the Norwegian number 1. Just taking some time out of the game here. Whether that be deliberate or not. And the first sign of Brazil trying to strike back in that little passage. Vinny goes to goes to ground too easy this time. Berg, found by Ødegaard, shoulder up into Haaland. A great touch on for Berg, who can continue his run. Ball central to Ødegaard, and Horsness marches on their right-hand side here. Oscar Bob with the overlap. Bit of possession here for Norway. No real urge to add a second. They won't need to, really. Unless Oscar Bob can produce something here. Oh, Ødegaard. Ødegaard still fashions a shot. It took a nick. And it's a Norwegian corner kick. And Martin Ødegaard riles up that Norwegian fan base behind the goal. And that Red Army behind that goal can start to believe here. They're the ones making the noise right now. Arsenal's Aya, who must be forgetting, had a pretty bad start, bringing down Cunha in the box to give away the early penalty. But since then, him and Hegem, really solid. Project possession for Norway. All out attack for Brazil. They are the plots right now that we have ahead of us. Danilo Santos, Neymar. Into Vini, out of his feet. Danilo got there first. Marquinhos, Neymar. Can he just turn back the hands of time and produce some magic to win this game? Or to salvage this game, Soden. Vinicius goes down. And the challenge there, and the referee wasn't buying that at all. There is that again. Oh. He just put his head in the ground, probably thinking, what a day I'm having. Shoulder up to Haaland again. Erling Haaland! Game, set, match! And the machine is struck again! It's a Brazilian nightmare. It's Norwegian dreamland in New York. They say this is a city where dreams are made of. Well, Erling Haaland has given these Norwegian fans a dream. What a strike from outside the box. A low rocket into the far bottom corner. And even he can't believe it. He's even impressed himself. It's Sheldrup again. He sets him up. Takes a touch. Ball out of his feet. No one closes him. And he just rifles it into that bottom right-hand corner. Nothing Alisson can do. Venom. Ferocity. And he knows straight away once he's hit that, that is unstoppable. And Norway and the Norwegian fans need to book a trip to Miami because they've got a quarter-final tie coming up. And he now joins Mbappe and Messi on 7 World Cup goals. 3 now in the knockouts for Erling Haaland in his debut World Cup tournament. And that is the knockout blow, you think now. And the Vikings will row on. Really inconspicuous game. He goes ominous. He disappears at times in games. But the way he just comes alive and the finishes today. A brilliant header. And that goal from outside the box. You don't teach that. That is just elite striking quality. And Brazil need more than just Samba now. They need almost divine intervention to save this one. 2 down. And we've got 7 minutes of stoppage time. We've played 2 of them. Aya comes flying in for a challenge. Gets rid of it. Edge of the area for Danilo. That's broken up. Ball into Haaland. Danilo gets the better of him. But look at Berg. What a game from Berg. And he's been active. He's been involved throughout the full 90. He's run his socks off. And he's keeping possession here for Norway. He's won every duel. He's seen the game from midfield. He's run the midfield. But he's done this in the Champions League stage already. We know he does this. Hegem long. But it's out of the feet of anyone. So Brazil can come back with it. 5 minutes here to score 2. Danilo to Neymar. And we sort of force this ball into the box here. Ederson. Over hit. Alsness heads it. And hoiks up the pitch. Norway happy to sit in their current shape. Ostergaard readying himself on the touchline as Stales Bakken reinforces the troops. Clearance to Danilo Santos. Works on the Marquinhos. And for those who have watched these Norwegian players, whether it be for the big clubs like Manchester City and Haaland and Arsenal for Ødegaard, Brentford for Aya, whoever likes the Bodo Glimt players, Hager, Berg, Hoff, they have got this talent. We know they have this talent. And they're just showing it now on the world stage. But if you know these players, you know their stories, you know this is nowhere near from the realms of reality. And this reality has been made true by that goal there from Erling Haaland. Strong backlift. And the power he generated from just a standstill is just unbelievable. Not human-like. Look at him. He loves his own work. And you know what? I would as well. Why wouldn't you love your own work when you can score 2 goals like that? So Ostergaard's on. And whether it be the Mexicans or the English, that game is not going to be easy. And they probably come into it as favourites, you'd think, this Norwegian outfit. Gabriel unable to deal with that ball. It's in the feet now of Martin Ødegaard. Aya came off. Ostergaard came on. Bob. Berger. Ødegaard. The way they've been able to keep possession today is... it's been unreal for this Norwegian outfit. Berger away from trouble. Can they make it 3? Not with that ball cleared away by Gabriel. Vinny fighting with Ødegaard. Hasn't he been an inspiration in there? So has Berg. Bob with fancy footwork. Ødegaard in there. And brought down by Neymar. and frustration coming to the fore. Ødegaard with a wry smile and a little giggle because they are out sambering the Sambas, the Samba side. And they are just taking the mick as they would. And look at him, he's pumped. Martin Ødegaard, Premier League champion, Champions League finalist, and now World Cup quarter-final awaits for Martin Ødegaard. Haaland will be saying, do we mind whipping one in here for me? I fancy one. He's notched on 7 with Mbappe and Messi of all players. The big three, the holy trinity of goal scorers have truly struck in this tournament. We are gifted to one of the great Golden Boot races because I assume that all 3 protagonists will have a quarter-final tie to come. Ødegaard short to Berg. Ødegaard again with it. Ball blocked off him. Well, now then. Now it's getting a little bit chippy. Ødegaard was grabbed around the neck. Now then. It's all starting to boil over here for Brazil. They know they're gone. We've seen this a lot with South American outfits. They choose to fight rather than actually play football when it's not going their way. And Brazil's time of this World Cup is up. And when the dust settles, there will be a massive inquest in how this has happened. But the story of the day, the headlines will be taken by Norway, by Erling Haaland, by Ødegaard, and this Viking crew that will continue to row on. And can we talk about Ståle Solbakken and his management and his decisions at halftime to bring on Sheldrup, to bring on Oscar Bob, to make the tough decisions. And he has outmanaged Carlo Ancelotti today. And this Norwegian side has outplayed Brazil today. He was quoted as saying, play the game, not the context, not the situation. And Brazil have been given a penalty here. Out of nothing. As they're coming together between Casemiro and I think Ostergaard. And the referees point to the spot. Wow. That is a very weak penalty. The lack of reaction from the crowd, and for me, yeah, he's pointing, wow. Really? A penalty for the elbow. That is not a penalty. Does not deserve this. Norway does not deserve to concede a goal. Can Nyland repeat his first half heroics here from the spot? Can he save a Neymar penalty? I'm having words here. Nyland and Neymar. Can he be the hero again? To keep a clean sheet for the perfect record from the spot. He's already saved the first half spot kick from Bruno Guimaraes. Can he stop Neymar here? Neymar from 12 yards versus Nyland. Brazil's number 10, stutter step. And wrong foots Nyland. And rolls it home. And is there potentially still a heartbeat for Brazil? They've got a late consolation prize, but I doubt it'll be anything more than that. We're already in extra time of stoppage time. Neymar still exchanging words with Nyland. He's had his feathers ruffled by this result. But I expect from this kickoff, there'll be the end of this matchup. Marquinhos and Erdegaard having a talking to. I doubt there's any more football to be played here. There can't be any more football to be played here. What's going on here? The Brazilians are making a mockery of this, and the referees made a mockery of this as well. How that's a penalty and how this is not full time, I may never know. How is that not full time? So we play on. Neymar forward. This would be an injustice. Casemiro whips one in. Nyland claims. And surely that then is full time. We have played 4.5 extra minutes over the 7 of what should have been added on. Now, finally, the full-time whistle. Norway keep rowing. They keep marching on. And the team go over to celebrate with their hero, Erling Haaland, the man for the moment today. A double. In the latter portion of this matchup, Starless back inside have been superb. And they're off to Miami to face off the winner against Mexico and England. But after this heroic display, they will go into that one as favourites surely. A Haaland brace in the second half, the difference. They were impenetrable today. They were unstoppable. And so good. Did not lay a foot wrong between Nyland's heroics in goal. The midfield dominance from Berger and Berg. Schodrup's impact off the bench. And of course, the centre of attention. The man that will write the newspaper titles. Erling Haaland again delivering. It was him in the 79th minute. Him in the 90th. Neymar late consolation goal from the spot. But Brazil were totally outplayed today. The story's about Norway. They march on. They row on to Miami. And their story continues. What a win. And history made for the Norwegians. They go to their first ever quarterfinal tie in a World Cup. And thanks to this heroic side led by Starlo Solbakken, it ends here from New York. Norway 2, Brazil 1.